Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I'm joined by the First Lady herself, Cecilia Braekhus. Cecilia, how are you today?
I am doing great. Just finish up with our some fight week appointments and had my public workout and feeling really good actually. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Very good to hear it. Obviously, how was the public workout today? It looked very busy in Dublin.
Oh, it was amazing. It was beautiful weather. There were so many people there. Everybody was, of course, super excited to see their idol, Katie Tyler. But we also got a very warm welcome. So it was a really nice day altogether.
Perfect. So you should as well, Cecilia. We'll jump straight into it. So obviously challenging Terri Harper for the WBA uh Super-Welterweight title. Obviously, I'm such a big fan of the fight. I think we were one of the channels kind of pushing the fight before it was even announced. What to you was particularly appealing about this fight?
Well, to be honest, I told Tom Loeffler, I want to fight for the belt, and I really don't care who it is. So he reached out to the title belt holders, and Terri Harper just said, "Okay, come on, let's do it." I think Natasha Jonas was talking to Clarissa Shields at that time, uh, but um, but when that did not happen, we were already so far away with the negotiations with Terry that it didn't make sense to drop them.
Perfect. And I'm very glad the fight was finally over the line. How has camp been for your fight with Terri Harper?
Oh, I had a great camp. Absolutely my best camp. Started out in Detroit. A couple of weeks there, a couple of months at the Kronk gym. Then I went over to London. Actually, Hannah Ranking had a gym over there, and she said, come over here, have a lot of sparring. And yeah, two weeks there with I think I had like 3, 4 girls every day in the gym for sparring. So that was absolutely amazing and something I haven't done earlier. So top sparring, top camp. The weight is good. I think it's going to be a very, very good night on Saturday.
Perfect. Obviously, I do want to touch on the Churchill's boxing gym. I think it's called. There's some great fighters in that gym. Obviously, Hannah Rankin you mentioned. I know Bree Wright. I think you've done a few works with Joanna One using that gym. Chev Clark trains down there, kind of. But obviously, Hannah Rankin fought Terri Harper last time out. Um, have those spars obviously, I imagine you've watched the fight between Hannah and Terri. Have those spars with Hannah given you some confidence going into this fight?
Yeah, I did sparring with Hannah, but we really don't we to be honest, I was asked if we have talked about Terri Harper. We didn't talk about her in camp. I'm just 100% focused in doing what I'm supposed to do. And sparring is always different than fights too. Hannah was in a great, and she just gave me some really, really good rounds in the ring.
Perfect. Well, I'm very glad to hear it. And obviously, in the age of where I say the modern age of boxing, where I think voluntary defense is always tied to rematch clauses. Is there a rematch clause for this fight? Just say you win and then Terri. Is that the case?
Yes, there's a rematch clause.
Perfect. Well, if the fight's really, really good, then we get to watch it twice. So that's even better for the fans then. Um, And so, Cecilia, as well, obviously, it's a great fight on the weekend. It's obviously a huge fight night. And before, I do want to get your opinions on the main event, but I do want to touch on your achievements in the ring. Obviously, the first female fighter to become undisputed champion. I mean, that's a title in itself. Obviously, the first lady. How does it feel to look back on that achievement? I mean, it's something special right there.
Um, yeah, it is. But to be honest, I don't look back that much. I mostly look forward. Those achievement is those are most for me when I hang up the gloves and, when I'm sitting old and looking back at my life. I'm going to look back and say, you know what, I did this. I was part of history. I made something, and I made something better for other women. I contributed to make an easier way for other women, and then I'm just gonna, lay back, sit back, rock my chair, and pat myself on the shoulder. But right now, I'm full focused on what I do in the ring and my fight on Saturday.
Perfect. And we do hope that that moment where you do hang up the gloves, Cecilia, is a long way into the future. Um, and my final question, you kind of did touch on it there, kind of. Obviously, you became undisputed at a time where kind of women within boxing, it wasn't where it was right now. How does it feel? Obviously, you touched on it a bit there, to be a part of that journey, obviously, to go from kind of where women's boxing was and then to where it is now with the fight with yourself and Terri, but also the main event in Katie Taylor and Chantelle Cameron.
Yeah, I've been on both sides. When I started boxing, women wasn't allowed to go to the Olympic Games. There were gyms that wouldn't let us allowed to train there because the coaches there didn't want to train women. There was absolutely no publicity or money or hype around women boxing. This was also way before it got cool for women to start doing martial arts or boxing. This was before Me Too. So there was pretty harsh stuff being said about women in boxing. Fast forward to today, I mean, it's hard to even realize what's going on right in front of my eyes. What's been happening for such a short distance of time. So to be honest, I'm just pinching myself every day, and I'm just feel incredibly lucky to be part of this and to have seen both. I think I can enjoy this so much today because I knew how it was.
Perfect. No, and definitely, and I think the rise of women's boxing, I feel like obviously Caressa Shields, Katie Taylor, they're all at the top. But I definitely think obviously you are one of those fighters as well, Cecilia. If you won't say it, I will for sure, for
Thank
sure,
you.
for sure. And on that kind of obviously women's boxing's flying at the moment. Are there any fighters that maybe we might not have heard of, or female fighters that you like watching at the moment?
You know what, there's a point right now when I'm just opening my Instagram, and there's every day that pops up new girls, and they all are incredible, and they are so talented, they're so skilled in boxing, and they're also just the next level in physical and conditional so to be honest, it's just so many exciting female fighters out there. You have both the past, the present, and the future just all mushed together. I think it's a very special time, and we need to really realize, that
Yeah.
this is an extraordinary time for us.
Perfect, and long may it continue as well. Obviously, fantastic night of boxing. The main event really is one of the. I think it's got everyone talking about it. I think everyone has different opinions on the fight. But Cecilia, how do you see the fight between Katie Taylor and Chantelle Cameron going on a Saturday night?
Well, I have to give Katie respect for taking such a hard fight. I think that's maybe the hardest fight she could have taken, and doing that for her homecoming. Wow. Um, I think it's going to be a tough fight. But me myself having my homecoming when professional boxing was banned in Norway, and we worked 7 years to get rid of that ban. And when I finally got to go to Norway and box, and I had sold out 10,000 tickets, and I can promise you there was nothing, nothing that would stand in between me and that victory. It wouldn't even have mattered who would be in the ring with me that day. And I think, been in that situation myself, knowing what Katie Taylor goes through right now, I will say I will hold Katie Taylor as a winner, because I know what drives her right now.
Perfect. Can we touch on that? I didn't know that women in boxing in Norway was banned. When you first got that moment, how proud were you when that
Oh,
was announced?
because I did everything before it was done today. Well, the thing was, professional boxing was banned in Norway since 1981, which forced me to go to Germany and out of Norway and only box abroad. We worked 7 years together with. We lobbied for boxing to get legal in Norway, and me being a world champion and getting all the belts, getting very big, being very popular, having a bit of the same situation as Katie has now in Ireland. They actually changed it, and we got rid of the ban so I could fight in front of my home audience. And my first fight in Norway was the first fight ever since 1981, and I was headlining, and we sold out 10,000 tickets, and it was just, I don't think anything will ever come up to that night ever, unfortunately.
No, what a special moment. And if and you've just added a bit of history to your career that I didn't even know about there, Cecilia. So no, but so thank you for sharing that with us. And again, thank you for giving your time to us today. We ask everyone this question. It's my final question. What does boxing mean to you?
um Well, I have a couple of rough years behind me under the epidemic. I was not happy, mental health was a thing that people talked about first after, and I was pretty sad. So boxing for me has been through my whole life something positive, something that makes me happy. I fell in love with boxing and martial art when I was 16 years old. So for me, it was very important to end my career in a way that also translated how much I love this sport, um, how much it's been given to me, and that I mean, it's been a life together with boxing. I'm 41 today. I started when I was 16, and without the really true love of the science of boxing, it could never happen.
Perfect. Well, that is one of the best answers I think I've ever got to that question, Cecilia. But no,
Oh,
thank you again, Cecilia, and best of luck with your world title attempt on Saturday.
thank you so much. Thank you so
But
much.
no problem. Take care. Thank
Bye.
you again.